Oh, yeah. Just thinking
If you wanted to go to the train museum out in Union.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
You could take 5
public hearing. Announce, then public hearing, then adopt.
Yeah. You're right.
People don't know how to have good time anymore. They'll try.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call the April 17th, 2017 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Vicki.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Mike Conklin.
Present.
Scott Dyke. John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire.
Here.
Claudia Gazal. Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Candy Thuringer.
Present.
Charlie Convery. Tom Inman.
Okay, for the record, I did receive a phone call from Alderwoman Gazal and Alderman Dyke late this afternoon. They are both excused for this evening for family emergencies. Moving on, you have the minutes before you for the April 3rd, 2017 Crest Hill City Council meeting. Motion would be in order.
So moved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Thuringer, seconded by Alderwoman Scolaire. Questions or comments in regards to the minutes? Roll call, please, Vicki.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, for our business promotion this evening,
Oh, I'm sorry, Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I skipped you, Barbara.
For the business promotion this evening, we are going to have a new business in the city of Crest Hill, La Chicanita Bakery, located at 1701 North Larkin Avenue in the Hillcrest Shopping Center, but I do not see Maria here. So I will ask Scott if he would like to make any comments on her behalf, and if she does show up, we'll certainly invite her to the podium for her presentation. Scott?
Certainly. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, La Chicanita Bakery will be, has opened in the Hillcrest Shopping Center, opposite the Food for Less in the strip center where the dry cleaners and the Red Wing Shoes is located. They will be open daily from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can contact them at 779-379-1255. Email address is info@lachicanitabakery.com. And I will, again, try to get Ms. Parra here to do an in-person business promotion in the future here so that we can celebrate the new business opening.
Okay, very good. All right, first on the agenda is a public hearing regarding the appropriations for all corporate purposes for our budgetary year of May 1st, 2017 to April 30th, 2018 in the city of Crest Hill. But before we move forward, I'm going to make some opening comments in regards to our budget highlights for fiscal year 17 and 18. And then we will have the public hearing, so if anybody would like to speak during that public hearing, will be your opportunity. And then I would ask that we move to the agenda items under the mayor's report for the passage of the appropriations and the budget for 2017 and 18 in the city of Crest Hill, which will begin on May 1st of this year. But first, let me advise everyone here in the audience and on television this evening that the budget was published in the Joliet Herald News on April 5th, and it was available for inspections here at City Hall for any member of the public since April 5th. I would like to now go into some of the budgetary highlights that I believe that this city council and this mayor should be very proud of for the hard work that not only the city council and the mayor, but the city staff and the department heads put into this budgetary process for the last 3 months. So let me begin by saying that, again, we should be proud of the accomplishments that we have had here in the last year, but we are going to present to the public tonight a balanced budget in the city of Crest Hill, and this will be a balanced budget for the last 9 years that we've had in this city. We have had a balanced budget for the last 9 years with a surplus. So this council should be very proud of those accomplishments. We do have a AA3 bond rating in the city of Crest Hill, which is fourth on the list of several would equate to about a 760 credit rating if you wanted to draw a comparison. So we are very solid in regards to our bond rating, but we certainly would like to improve a few more positions. We do have 6 months of reserves in this budget, hopefully with the passage this evening. And I'm sure that everybody's aware we have won the GFOA award for the last 2 years for our financing, our accounting, our budgeting, and our auditing that only 12% of the communities in the state of Illinois receive. So with all that said, I could tell you that our finances are solid in the city of Crest Hill, so all of our residents should be confident in what we have done here, and the city council should be proud of the accomplishments that they have made also for the last 9 years here in our budget process. I certainly would be remiss if I did not give a lot of credit to our city staff and to our department heads for their hard work that they have done for the last 3 months in regards to this process. But I will tell you that our operating budget that this year that we are looking to pass is less than last year's operating budget. So every department is showing less expenditures this year than last year. So that's quite a feat and that's quite an accomplishment. So I want to thank all the department heads for how they've tightened the screws there a little bit in regards to the budgets. But that is certainly a good thing for the city of Crest Hill and for our residents. Some of the other highlights that I certainly want to highlight is that we have in this budget before us tonight, we have the hiring of an additional police officer. This will be our 31st police officer that we'll be bringing into the city of Crest Hill. In 2009, when I became the mayor, we had 24 sworn police officers, and with the hiring of, in this budget, with the hiring of number 31, that will be seven additional police officers that we've hired in the last 8 years. So that is quite a feat. One of the other things that this city council should be very proud of is that we have addressed, not only in addition to hiring of the additional police officers, but we have addressed the police pension issue in this city. And we have made all of our police pension contributions and obligations. And in addition to those for the last 8 years now, we most recently have started an additional $150,000 per year into the police pension fund. And what that is going to do with the additional $150,000 contribution into the pension fund in 10 years, we will be fully funded in the city of Crest Hill in the year 2038. The state of Illinois says that you have to be 90% funded by 2040. The city will be fully funded by 2038. That is quite an accomplishment for this city, and that's quite an accomplishment for all of our future police officers who will reap the benefits of a pension fund. In regards to some public works projects that are in this budget, we are going to be looking at doing 4 blocks of Wilcox Street total reconstruction. That'll be the 16, 17, 18, and 1900 blocks of Wilcox. There will be new water mains installed. There will be new storm sewers installed where needed, new curbs, and it'll be a total reconstruction of road work in regards to Wilcox Street. We've also budgeted in this budget for the 1700 and 1800 blocks of Root Street for a stormwater project that is long overdue and needed in that area to help alleviate a lot of the flooding during heavy rainstorms. We also have budgeted $350,000 for the resurfacing of several streets throughout the entire city. We don't have those streets located yet as to which ones we will do. We'll certainly talk about that as we go forward here in the next few months, but we will certainly take the worst streets where we can get the most recourse for our monies, and we will spend that $350,000 wisely to resurface several of the streets or patches throughout the entire city. This is our 3rd year now that we are in for our vehicle replacement program, and we have started to reap some of the benefits that we thought we were going to see. We have shown a decrease in cost in regards to parts. We've seen a decrease in labor costs, and we have seen a decrease in vehicle breakdowns with the new vehicles that we have. In addition to all of those decreases, we will also start to see the benefit of a higher resale and trade-in value of the vehicles as we start turning them over in the next couple of years. So that program has worked out very well for the city of Crest Hill. In this budget also, we have reinstated the 50/50 tree program, which we have not had for the last several years with the ash trees that took priority in making sure that all of those were removed because of the disease that they carried and the possibility of transmitting that disease to other trees. So that was a 3 or 4 year project that we had to take several hundred trees, ash trees down in the parkways throughout the city. In regards to economic development, we began a facade program for the purpose to give incentives to our current businesses and our current business owners, and in addition to that, to promote our business retention program throughout the city. So these are some of the highlights in the operational budget that I certainly wanted to share with everybody here in the city tonight. In addition to all of that, we will continue with the property tax rebate check for this year coming up. We have kept our promise. This will be the 5th year then that everyone will receive their property tax rebate check, which is 25% of the municipal portion of your property tax bill to every homeowner and every business owner in the city of Crest Hill. So those are all great things that we have done, that we will continue to do over the course of this budgetary year. In regards to the water and sewer budget, some of the highlights that we have planned for in the water and sewer budget: we have budgeted for engineering costs for the state mandated phosphorus requirements and all of the things that we need to do to keep within the Illinois EPA guidelines. That is a state mandate for both of our treatment plants for many of the municipalities, and I think that has to be in effect by either 2019 or 20. So we are being proactive instead of reactive in that, and starting that program in order to get our phosphorus to where the new state mandate will be in the years to come. We have budgeted $500,000 for sealing sanitary sewer manholes and sewer linings throughout the city to help alleviate the infiltration and inflow of rainwater into the system during heavy rainfalls. And that rainwater that then eventually has to go to the treatment plant to be treated comes at a great expense to us. So the more infiltration and inflow of rainwater that we can keep out of the sanitary sewer system, the less we treat, the less costs that we have. And we are again trying to alleviate some of the flooding that we have left in the city. And when it does rain that 4 or 5 inches, that's when we seem to have some certain problems in certain areas. So we certainly want to address those, and we want to try to do everything we can to alleviate those issues also. We've come a long way with the flooding. We've come a long way with all the work and infrastructure work that we've done throughout the entire city, but we have a little bit more to go. And the last thing that I want to talk about in regards to the water and sewer, everybody's well aware that the West Sewage Treatment Plant was built in 1968, last upgraded in 1992. It's in dire need of some major overhaul and some major improvements. So we have started a phased-in project here. Probably it's going to take us over the next 10 or 15 years to make those improvements to the West Treatment Plant, but that's probably the most fiscally responsible method to use in order to make those improvements, because treatment plant expansions and rehabilitations cost millions of dollars. So those are some of the highlights that I certainly wanted to share with the public in regards to this budget. I think it's a great budget. I think it's going to work well for this city for the next fiscal year. And again, I certainly want to thank all the hard work that city staff and all the department heads, city council, and everybody has put into this budget. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley for some figures before we go into the public hearing. Ashley?
And before Ashley jumps in, I'm just going to make
Okay.
a couple comments here. I just wanted to also thank all of the department heads, especially Ashley Motika, our finance supervisor. Spent many hours trying to get this budget where it needed to be and making sure we were spending money and presenting to council the best budget that we could. And I also want to thank council for continuing to focus on those items that really are going to put the city in the best position to move forward, continuing a lot of our replacement programs that we have been doing, and also funding the appropriate mechanisms, like the mayor said, to keep the city's infrastructure intact and improved. So thank you very much. I want to express my appreciation to all of you as well.
Ashley?
Okay, so in front of you, or presented to you all today, you have both the appropriation ordinance as well as the budget ordinance. So we're going to start with the appropriation ordinance. The amount that is included in our appropriation ordinance that is to be raised by taxes is amounting to $2,054,786. The amount that will be funded from other sources is $28,896,295, totaling a total amount appropriated of $30,951,081. In regards to the budgeted figures, we have revenue for our general fund anticipated to be $9,263,001. Our anticipated general fund expenses are $9,216,811. For our water and sewer fund, our anticipated revenues are $8,185,829, and our anticipated water sewer expenses are $7,180,667. That totals an operational revenue in the amount of $17,448,830, and our operating expenses in the amount of $16,397,478. With these figures presented, we are going to have a surplus in our operating budget in the amount of $1,051,352 for the 2018 fiscal year. In addition to these operating expenses, as Ray had previously mentioned, we are budgeting for additional capital projects, which include Wilcox Street, Root Street, additional road resurfacing, the Public Works Building, and a few major water and sewer improvements. So first and foremost, I would like to also extend my thanks out to not only the council, but also the city staff for their patience over this budget process. We've gone over each individual budget in great detail, and at this point, we will be happy to address any questions or concerns that any individuals may have.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. With that said, we are going to move into the public hearing, so I would ask for a motion for a public hearing regarding the appropriations for all corporate purposes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2017 and ending April 30th, 2018 for the city of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois.
So moved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Inman. Questions or comments in regards to the motion for the public hearing? Roll call, please, Vicki.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Candy Theringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the public hearing is opened at 7:18 PM. I would ask if anyone in the audience would like to speak for or against the proposals for the 2017-2018 budget and appropriations for the city of Crest Hill. You need to please come to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. I will ask a second time for the record if anybody would like to speak for or against the 2017-2018 Crest Hill budget and appropriations, to please step to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. And the third call, if anybody would like to speak for or against the proposal for the 2017-2018 City of Crest Hill budget and appropriations, please step to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. Let the record show that no one has chosen to step to the podium. So I would ask for a motion that the public hearing be closed.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Inman for the closing of the public hearing. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please, Vicki.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
Candy Theringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, public hearing is closed at 7:19 PM, and we will be back into regular session. With that, I would ask that we would defer to the mayor's report. And the first agenda item you have under the mayor's report is an ordinance making appropriations for all corporate purposes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2017 and ending April 30th, 2018 for the city of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois. Motion would be in order.
So moved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderwoman Theringer. Questions or comments in regards to the appropriations ordinance? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call, please, Vicki.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery. Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Candy Theringer.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance numbers 1733.
Okay. Next agenda item under the mayor's report is is an ordinance adopting a citywide budget for the 2017-2018 fiscal year for the city of Crest Hill. Motion would be in order.
So moved. Second.
A motion by Alderwoman Thuringer, seconded by Alderwoman Sclair. Questions or comments in regards to the motion, in regards to the budget? Hearing none. Roll call, please, Vicki.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance numbers 1734.
Okay, again, just my personal heartfelt thanks to city staff and all the department heads, city council for all the hard work that everybody put into this. I believe that this is something that everyone in this city should feel proud of. I will ask if anybody from city council or city staff would like to make any comments in regards to the budgetary process. Hearing none, we will go back to the agenda items, to our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 3 agenda items this evening for your approval. The first is a resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. This is an adjustment to our MFT for the 15-16 fiscal year, and this is just doing some paperwork cleanup with Christopher Burke Engineering. This was when we did the work for Susanna and Manico Drive. I'm just cleaning it up, so that would be an additional $70,000 appropriated for those streets.
So moved as presented. Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderwoman Thuringer, in regards to the resolution for maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code. Questions or comments of the motion? Roll call, please, Vicki.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number is 989.
Thank you. The next item I have for consideration is the Wilcox Street Water Main and Roadway Improvement Proposal for Professional Engineering Services with Christopher Burke. This is to do water main replacement on Wilcox from LC to Theodore, and the total cost of the engineering on this would be $93,200 to be spent in the upcoming fiscal year.
Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Inman, seconded by Alderwoman Sclair, for the Wilcox Street Water Main and Roadway Improvement Proposal for Professional Engineering Services. Questions or comments in regards to the motion for Wilcox Street? Roll call, please, Vicki.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the final item I have for consideration this evening is the proposal from, the technology support agreement from Vertec. And this was discussed at the work session on April 10th. This would be for a 1-year term for technology services, including an in-house person 1 day a week and then unlimited remote support services. So we do have Andres, I'm not going to try your last name, I apologize, but he is here from Vertec. If there are any questions, I would invite him to the podium if council would like to have any questions or comments for him. And the total on that 1-year service is $47,400.
Any questions for Andres from Vertec, or would a motion be in order?
So moved as presented. Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Inman. Motion for the Vertec Technology Support Agreement for 1 year. Questions or comments of the motion? Roll call, please, Vicki.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That was the final agenda item I had this evening. There is a work session scheduled for April 24th with current topics including 1622 to 1626 Broadway redevelopment, as well as the sidewalk program. I would be happy to answer any other questions at this time.
Any questions of the city administrator? Thank you, Heather. Moving on, Public Works Department, our Director of Public Works, Mr. Tony Torres. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I only have one item for this evening, excuse me, and that would be for the purchase of the vehicle replacement program. In 2015, Council approved the replacement vehicle program. We are now into the third multi-year of that replacement program. This request is to initiate the ordering process for the vehicles due this year. There is attachment to that outlining which vehicles those are. and we would not expense any funds until after May.
Motion would be in order.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Sclair, seconded by Alderwoman Oberlin. Questions or comments in regards to the motion for the
Tony, did we go off for bids on these things already? This the final price now?
A lot of these are through government contract, so we're getting the lowest possible bid. We save ourselves money going through that government program.
All right.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery. Yes. Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else, Tony?
That is it, Mayor.
Questions or comments for Public Works Director?
Yeah, Tony, can I ask you something about the well? We had the drop in water. What actually happened?
What happened was we lost communications. There was a technical glitch with the computer software. We were not able to receive a notice electronically through our SCADA system, and therefore, as soon as we started getting calls of low pressure from the residents, we deployed crews to go out and investigate. We found that the telecommunications errors, and we had to manually adjust the pumps and motors, restart them, and also isolate and open some valves out in the system to balance out the high system from the low system. Once we got in contact with our IT vendor that supports our system, they were able to troubleshoot it, and within a couple hours, it was back and running. So we didn't, we maintained the appropriate water pressure within the line. We did not have to institute a boil order, and we were able to balance the system out within a less than a 4-hour period.
Don't we have a backup system hooked to that would take over?
We do not. We do not have a backup system.
Because the pressure by my house, it wasn't even coming out the water.
Most of the areas that we responded calls on, they still had over 20 pounds of pressure in the system. And like I said, once we manually started those pumps, the pressure, we started seeing the pressure increase within 20 to 30 minutes.
Which well was that? One?
No, that was well 8.
Isn't there a generator there that would kick in automatically by itself to start that thing up?
No, because it is again, it's electronics, and if it does not receive that signal, it doesn't look at any failure. So that was the problem with that.
Anybody else?
Well, tell Mark thank you, because he was very quick in giving us what you just stated in electronic in our email, and getting it up and running again very quickly. So thank him for that, for
Will
his
do.
diligence on that.
And just one other comment, Tony, there was a letter in the packet from Richland School District 88A from our superintendent, Dr. Mike Early. And this was addressed to Mr. Bill King, care of the city of Crest Hill. It says here, Dear Bill King, at the March 15, 2017 Board of Education meeting, Board Member Ryder offered a salute to you for helping us get a R&R septic here in a hurry when our main sewer line was in disrepair. Your quick thinking helped us avert even more damage. Thank you. Sincerely, Dr. Michael Early, Superintendent, Richland Grade School. So please pass our congratulations on to Bill for some quick thinking and some quick assistance to the Richland Grade School. I'm sure they were very appreciative and thankful that that was taken care of for them in a very timely manner. Probably saved them a lot of headaches and a lot more expenses down the road because of his quick thinking. So thanks for that, and also to the day with the water pressure drop. I know that the power surges that we had and everything else caused a lot of the problems, but I know that a lot of the gentlemen from that from the treatment plant came out to offer assistance that day to get us back online very quickly. So thanks to all of them for
Thank
their
you very
hard work.
much. We did have a very quick response. We obviously used the smart messaging, which was a big help for us as well. And also, it just happened to occur when our Public Works office had closed for the day. So hats off to everyone here at City Hall for answering calls and giving us a shout out as soon as they started getting those low water pressure complaints.
And just to jump on that too, I did want to also extend my thank you to all of city staff, because the clerk's office, the water billing department, Scott was answering phones, Zoe was answering phones. We were all out there answering phones to try to help alleviate the residents' concerns. So I think that was really good teamwork on everyone's part, and I just wanted to say I appreciate everyone's help on that as well.
Okay,
May I ask
thanks.
you a question, Tony? Was the fire department called and tell them that we have low pressure so they know it?
I'll double check, John, but I believe they're on our smart message as well, but I'll double check and make sure. I almost want to say that they were because of the fire system. I'll get back to you on that one, though, John.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Tony. Moving on, Community Development Department, our Economic Development Director, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This request comes from our building inspector regarding vegetation cutting contractors for 2017. And bear with me as I go through the list of companies that we sent bid requests to, but per ordinance 7.08.030C, our weed removal ordinance, we sent bid requests to Allied Landscaping Corps, Berry Landscaping, Delaney Contracting, Duke's Landscape Services, Inc., Elite Landscape, The Fields on Keaton Farm, Green Gold Landscaping, Hawthorne Landscaping, J. Hassert Landscaping, Jim Phelps Landscaping, K&D Landscape Management, Raintree Landscaping and Irrigation, and Seibert Landscaping. The company we used in 2016, Suburban Landscaping, sent us a bid, and although they were the lowest of the three bids that we did receive, which were Hawthorne, Seibert, and Suburban, we decided to recommend Hawthorne Landscaping as the contractor for this year, given the glib history with Suburban and the resident complaints we received from Suburban. So with that, I will ask for your consideration in recommending Hawthorne Landscaping for this contract.
Do we just send it to this group, or is it posted in a fashion that other people could bid on it if they chose? Or how does somebody get on this list to be one of these?
A lot of them are registered with the city,
Uh-huh.
and some are just ones that we've used in the past.
Because I had a gentleman today ask me about this, who has a landscaping business, and I wasn't sure how you determined who got invited to bid or what.
Yeah, I think for the most part, we try to use as much as we can any kind of local service that we can send a bid to. And again, some are just others that we've used in the past that are still in our system.
So if they were interested in participating, they could let you know?
They can certainly let the building department know. We can get them registered with the city.
I
and
think
then-
they already are.
Yeah, and then we can, future requests can go out to them.
Okay.
Any other questions? Motion would be in order?
So moved.
So moved for which one, Alderwoman?
I'm sorry, for Hawthorne Landscaping.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderwoman Thuringer, seconded by Alderwoman Oberlin for the bid process to be awarded to Hawthorne Landscaping Incorporated of Crest Hill. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
John Verche.
Yes.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery. Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We also have reports on file for the month of March. There were 24 code enforcement tags and tickets, and we also received $15,947.25 in permit fees in the month of March. Also included in your packet is the fourth quarter economic development activity report, which highlights 7 new businesses and 17 new jobs. And if I could, I'd like to give the building department a nice public commendment. I received a call last week from somebody who was going through the permit process, and very detailed call that outlined both Zoe Rogers, our building assistant, our building department assistant, and Kirk Wilkins, our building inspector, mentioned that they were very professional, very knowledgeable in assisting him through the permit process. So again, I do want to make that public and let you know that the building department, which we are striving to do our very best to treat each person that we come into contact with professionalism and courtesy. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
Any questions of economic development?
I don't know if Scott will be as involved in this, but Heather, maybe you can answer this. On our March code enforcements, under the hearing docket, on Mr. Gonzalez, 1601 Broadway Street, there's pages and pages, and I believe he's been in violation before. We've had him before. Is there anything more we're going to do? I mean, I was by there last night,
And this is one, I apologize, I'm not actually at the code enforcement, so I can ask Scott to follow up with Kirk on this one. I know that he has been at issue, and they have met with him to ask him to come into compliance with some of these issues, but we are getting to a more serious point with him because
yeah,
of
I just
these.
didn't know if you had been involved from a legal standpoint, or what's the next step going to be?
That-
Because he keeps getting issued these citations, and it's apparent that he's ignoring them, and he's just expanding his business without, you know, without telling anybody or following the code.
Yeah, and we've had, just recently, the last week or so, we've had a sit-down meeting with him, both Zoe Rogers and myself had sat down with him and gone through everything he's been in violation of. He has promised to clean up his, I know he's going through a transition phase with closing another dealership and bringing new vehicles over, but he is working on complying, and we're trying to give him as much courtesy as possible without, you know, trying to be noted as non-business friendly. So we are diligently working with him to try to work out all these issues.
Yeah, because, yeah, it's a little crowded over
I agree.
And he's got the big bright lights in the back. When I went by at night,
Sure.
he's got the big bright lights, and I'm sure the neighbors over there aren't real appreciative of
We have
those
gotten some
lights.
neighborhood complaints as well, so, and that's something that we have laid out for him as well. And again, we're trying to work as best as we can with him to try to
Okay.
clean up everything over there.
Okay,
so.
thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Scott. Moving on, Police Department, our Police Chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I do not have anything on the agenda this evening. I have a couple of informational memos in your packet. The first one is the 16th Annual Road to Reality that takes place at Lockport East High School. It's a real neat event where they have an actual simulated traffic crash that involves alcohol use. And it's a good learning lesson for kids, teenagers, especially this time of year. So everybody's invited. It's from 6 to 8, and parents and students, you're invited to go and attend.
And is that where they put the glasses on them?
Yeah, they do that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yep. Secondly, I have on the 19th of May, we're going to be doing Cop on a Rooftop over at Dunkin' Donuts. Surprise, surprise, right, Dunkin' Donuts? But it's going to be between 5 a.m. and 2 p.m. We're going to be soliciting for Special Olympics of Illinois again. And I would just invite everybody to come on out and donate and support a great cause. So
Are you gonna go on the roof?
I may or may not, we'll see.
Can we know what time so we can come harass?
Sure. You can harass me anytime, but
Yeah, it's more fun when you're sitting on a rooftop.
yeah, it's true. Other than that, reports are in file, and I'll entertain any questions.
Well, this is a wonderful cause, Ed. We've gone to it many years and harassed the policemen on the roof. But, you know, they sell things to raise money, and
Yep.
it's a great opportunity to have a good time and raise money for a great cause. So I hope people do come over there and see you.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Police Chief? Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Moving on to Mayor's report, we took care of the 2 agenda items. I have nothing else to report. If there's any questions, I'll do my best to try and answer them. Hearing none, we'll move on to City Clerk's report. Our City Clerk, Vicki Hackney. Good evening, Vic.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no agenda items, however, a couple of announcements. The city-wide garage sale is May 18th, which is a Thursday. It starts through Sunday, May 21st. The permit fee is $5. The last day to register is May 16th, and maps and lists will be available for residents, and we do break them down by neighborhood on May 17th. So that's opportunity to do cleanup at your house. The second cleanup at your house you can do is Shred Day that the clerk's office is having on June 17th. That is a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at City Hall parking lot. We will have individuals here to assist you getting items out of your trunk, so if you have difficulty doing that, I do ask that you limit it to 2 to 3 boxes. And sponsoring this is Abe Capps with Hillcrest Shopping Center, so thank you to him. And that's all the items that I have this evening. Any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Questions of City Clerk? Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving on to our City Treasurer, Glenn Conklin. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to report regular and overtime payroll from March 20th, 2017 through April 2nd, 2017, in the amount of $187,740.11. I seek your approval on our list of bills totaling $783,577.32.
So moved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Overland, seconded by Alderwoman Thuringer in regards to the list of bills. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Charlie Convery?
Yes.
Tom Inman?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Barbara Scoler?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Candy Thuringer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. If you have any questions,
Any questions of City Treasurer?
thank you and good night.
Thanks, Glenn. Moving on, unfinished business, we have nothing on the agenda. Anybody? New business, we have 2 Plan Commission recommendations this evening. The first one is case V-17-2-3-1. It is an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Window World, located at 2363 Copper Court, and this is for a sign variation. I will turn it over to our Building and Zoning Manager, Scott McMaster, for some opening comments. Scott?
Thank you, Mayor. Window World, again, is seeking a variance to locate a sign on the southwest corner of Caton Farm and Weber Road. If you know where Window World is located, they are not on Weber Road directly, and they're seeking to get a sign that will draw some attention to their business down on Copper Court. And as you know, with the ongoing construction of that street coming up here, I think it's imperative that their advertisement is put up and will allow for some extra attention, seeing that, obviously I don't know how many people are going to head down Caton Farm with this construction. So if we can get that sign up on the southwest corner there, it'll draw some attention to them. And there is a representative here from Window World to answer any questions.
How about Heather, anything to add?
Not this time.
Okay, any questions from City Council and to
Yes.
Scott or Heather?
I was watching this meeting, and maybe I was in a daze, but was this a temporary sign or permanent?
This is a temporary sign.
That's what I thought.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Scott, is this sign gonna be put back far enough so they put the other lanes in there, you won't have to take and move it again the next time?
Yeah, he's going to make sure that it's out of the way of any kind of construction that's going on
Yeah,
there.
no, he's putting it up and have to move it together in another month or so. when
Right,
it's
he
on the
won't,
street there.
where he's proposing it goes is it won't be in any kind of direct lane of construction.
It's gonna be in that.
Is it gonna have any kind of light
Correct.
on it? Will it have any kind of light on it so it'll reflect the night?
That I am not sure of. I don't know. He might want to address that with.
Yeah,
with
please
the
come to the
council.
podium, sir, your name for the record, and anything you'd like to add to the conversation here from Window World?
I'm the production manager, Robert Kemp from Window World.
Your name, please?
Robert Kemp,
Okay.
okay. I'm not clear on the lighting issue at this point. Certainly, we could try to work something out if we needed to. But it is pretty imperative with the construction, which is a wonderful thing to fix the roads, and we appreciate it. But we know that there's something happening around us, and it's going to go further down the road. And this will be a great help for us to keep our business going and keep things moving in a time that's taken a little hard work to keep a business going. So we certainly would be appreciative of this.
Yeah, just let me make a comment in regards to Caton Farm Road and Weber. Some major improvements have begun. I'm sure that everybody sees the work that's already started there with moving of some infrastructure work. I will tell you that as all road projects, Wilcox Street this year included, they are They test your patience, I will say that. There, especially the one on Weber and Caton Farm is going to be major. That's a major improvement with wider lanes, with wider turn radiuses, new traffic signalization. So it's going to be messy, it's going to be sloppy, it's going to be dusty. So please use caution when the workers are working in those areas throughout the year. But I think you have to think about the final benefit that will come from all the construction throughout the city in this summer season and the improvements that will be made to this area. And for this project here, it's going to go from the bridge, the railroad bridge there on the west side, all the way to about the location where Firestone is, there by Menards. So it's going to be a big project, and it's going to be probably take about 3 months, and then they're going to switch over and go do Gaylord and Division Street. That's going to be another major project. So there's going to be a lot of headaches, there's going to be a lot of construction issues, traffic issues, but the final product will be a lot of improvements for the city and the flow of traffic and the safety of traffic to go on all of those intersections. So I will open it up to question if anybody has any questions of Robert.
It is temporary, I understand, even though temporary keeps being crossed out on everything on here.
Well, they are of the understanding that if that property does get sold, they will no longer be allowed to have that.
Well, that was
sign.
my next question. How long is the temporary sign going to be there?
That would have to be worked out between them and the
Yeah.
property owner, I assume.
The variance isn't intended to say only a 10-day limit, it's to keep it
Well, no, I
up.
know it's
Correct.
longer than that, but it's not forever either, and that's my question.
Correct, it's not gonna be constructed as a monument sign, it will
Right.
just be those wood posts, so it is removable, but it'll be between the property owner, if granted, between the property owner and Window World on how long that stays up, unless council wanted to impose some sort of time limit on that.
And they
I
also
just
have
don't
the-
want it to be indefinite, because temporary is temporary.
Certainly, yeah.
So I don't want to leave the whole thing open-ended forever. I mean, that's not what temporary is. I understand the reason, and I understand why you want to do it, and I get that, but when I see temporary and I see no finite end date, that doesn't say temporary to me, that says infinity.
Yeah, the variance request wasn't in regards to the temporary or permanent state of the sign, it was in regards to the location of it. So that was my understanding, that was not part of the request, is only for a limited amount of time, but again, that is certainly under council's discretion to insert that time limit.
Well, I think we need to have some sort, I mean, I'm not saying it has to be a short time, but I don't want to, 5 years from now, see it still here.
Hopefully that property will be sold by that time, within 5 years.
Well,
If not,
We can always insert a timeline for now, whether that's 2 years, whether that's 3 years, and at the end of that time period, if the lot is still vacant and the owners want to reapply for another variance, then we can do that.
well, I think that would be a more acceptable thing, because when you say temporary, and every temporary is scratched out on this is why I was so confused, but I watched the meeting, and I understand people have issues because it's not their property, but I understand why they need it. But I'm not going to just say forever, so I think that's a great plan. Say 2 years, and if after 2 years it's still needed and it's still not, then reapply. But I don't think leaving it open is a good idea.
We can certainly insert that if that's, whoever makes the motion makes that part of the motion.
Well, I just think in the past, we found ourselves in a trick bag because we said, well, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and this doesn't happen, and then there we sit with.
Okay. From our point of view, obviously, it's not going to be a huge expense to put up the sign, but it would be something, and a little more extension from a 2-year period of time would be appreciated.
Let me ask you a question, Heather.
Not that
Say the corner-
or anything like that.
Say the corner lot does sell. They put up a sign, the business. Can he put a sign below it with an arrow still pointing that way on whoever buys a corner lot?
The agreement was with the current owner, so that would be up to the new owner to permit that.
And the council.
Yeah, I'd hate to see it up there, and if they build a thing in a year, well, it ain't gonna happen in a year anyway.
The understanding from the owner is that if the lot sells, that they're not gonna have the sign there anymore. At least that's how it was portrayed at the plan commission level. But again, if council wants to insert a 2-year or 3-year, I mean, that seems to be a negotiation point between council and the owner on how
Well, I
long
would
that
like
length
a
should be.
finite, myself personally, I don't want to have temporary scratched out on a temporary request and no end date.
Right.
To me, that you're just asking for
sign to be up there permanently.
Yes, you are. And no feet to stand on when you say take it down.
Right.
Fair enough. That's,
Okay, any other?
Would you be happy with 3 years?
I think that would, and we could reapply if it seemed appropriate, absolutely.
Unless somebody opens up otherwise ahead of
Oh,
time.
absolutely, if he owns the property, then
Right.
it's his property,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, yes.
I can go along with that, Ray. I'll make a motion, we do
Well,
that.
hang on. Anybody else want to ask a question to Robert? Okay. I would ask if anybody would like to speak for or against the request of Window World, located at 2363 Copper Court, for a sign variance at the southwest corner of Caton Farm and Weber. Please step to the podium. You need to state your name for the record, and your address is optional. For the record, I will ask the second time if anybody would like to speak for or against the request of Window World of Joliet, 2363 Copper Court, for a sign variance at the southwest corner of Caton Farm and Weber Road. Please step to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. And the third time calling out, anyone who would like to speak for or against the request of Window World for the sign variance at the southwest corner of Caton Farm and Weber. Let the record show that no one has spoken for or against the applicant's request. Moving on, you have an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Window World. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Verche, seconded by Alderman Inman. Questions or comments in regards to the,
With that stipulation in there for 3 years.
with a stipulation of a 3-year window?
And with that, as part of the motion, I will amend the ordinance to reflect that.
Okay?
3 years from date of signing?
Correct.
Or sooner if somebody buys it.
Yeah, that's up to the property
Yeah,
owner. We'll give it
yeah.
for 3 years. yeah.
Okay.
Questions or comments in regards to the motion with the addendum of the 3-year extension? Roll call, please.
Barbara Scoler.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Charlie Convery. Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance numbers 1735.
Okay, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, the next Plan Commission recommendation under new business is an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Renwick Plaza. That is case V-17-3-4-1. The applicant's name is AEI Investment, Renwick Plaza, for a sign variation at the property located at 20651 to 20653 Renwick Road. I would ask that Scott McMaster give us some opening comments in regards to this request.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Renwick Plaza, as you know, is now housing Friaco's Restaurant and will soon be housing 2 new businesses. This company's seeking a variance request to place a sign 21 feet instead of 25 feet off the setback north side of the property. And as you know, that strip center does not have any kind of signage or monument sign, so that would be an added addition to bring traffic through to that strip center there. So, again, there's a representative from AEI Investments, I believe it's the contractor for the sign, is here as well to answer any questions and address concerns.
Okay, Heather, anything to add on this one?
No, Mayor.
Okay, to the City Council first, any questions or comments to Scott or Heather in regards to the request?
Scott, that's going to be a lit one now?
That one, is that one? Yeah, that should be a
Yes.
lit one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir, to the podium, maybe explain us a little bit more. Your name just for the record, please.
Brent Clapper.
Brent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lit sign, it's LED lit. It'll be, it's gonna have 10 tenant panels in it, and 1 for the Renwick Plaza, the name. Double brick monuments on the side. So, it should be in the pamphlet you got.
Okay, any questions of Brent from City Council in regards to the request?
I'm just trying to grasp exactly where it's gonna be.
It's on the far east entrance,
Okay,
next to the daycare that's there.
okay.
And it'll be set back, we set it back 21 feet.
But it's still not gonna obstruct vision.
No, it's actually 6 feet behind the power poles.
Okay.
Light poles. There's a turn lane there, so it's,
Yeah, you can't tell what's in that plaza, there's no,
right,
they
that's what
needed
we're
something.
trying to get for the customers,
Yeah.
for tenants and stuff, so.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Brent, Scott, or Heather? Okay, I would ask if anyone in the audience would like to speak for or against the request of AEI Investments, Renwick Plaza, for a sign variance at 20651 to 20653 Renwick Road. Please step to the podium. You need to state your name for the record. Your address is optional. The second request for the applicant's name of AEI Investment Renwick Plaza for a sign variance at 20651 to 20653 Renwick Road. Please step to the podium. Your name for the record. Your address is optional. And for the third request, anyone who would like to speak for or against the request of AEI Investments Renwick Plaza for a sign variance at 20651 to 20653 Renwick Road, please step to the podium. State your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record reflect that no one is speaking for or against the request of the applicant. You have before you, ladies and gentlemen, an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Renwick Plaza. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
I think it's gonna be a good thing, do a little more noticeability, I guess the word is, for the businesses that are there.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Alderwoman Sclair, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please, Vicki.
Candy Theringer?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Charlie Convery?
Yes.
Tom Inman?
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1736.
Okay, you're good to go also, Brent. Let's get that shopping plaza filled up. Okay, anybody else under new business? Okay, moving on, committee and liaison reports, anybody? I do have one, as chairman of the Veterans and Police Memorial Committee. Our Veterans and Police Memorial Committee would like to invite everyone to our Memorial Day ceremony to honor our veterans and our slain police officers. Our event will be held on Monday, May 29th at 2 o'clock. Here outside at the Memorial Garden. Our guest speaker this year is a Crest Hill resident by the name of Mr. Dan Sizek. Dan is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. He's been coming to our ceremonies probably for the last 24 years. So we certainly will welcome him as our guest speaker. We will have entertainment by the Frankfurt Brass Band. They will do a prelude to the prelude concert to the start of the program about 20 minutes before 2 with some nice music, and then the program will take place. It will last about 50 minutes. We will have our soloist from the city of Crest Hill, Miss Anna Mae Lukancic, singing a cappella, and we will also certainly honor all of our lost veterans and our slain police officers on that day. So everyone is invited to attend. Please bring some lawn chairs if you'd like to sit in the shade, and there will be refreshments after the ceremony. So again, that's on Monday, May 29th at 2 p.m., right outside in the parking lot in front of the Memorial Garden. Okay, moving on to city council comments. These are positive city council comments. Anything you'd like to share with your constituents? I believe we'll begin with Ward 4 this evening with Alderman Inman.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter holiday. We sure had a nice day, a good day for it, so that was wonderful. I would also like to congratulate every one of the staff members and council members on this year's budget. It's always nice when we get through that finished, and we did a pretty good job, and I'm proud of it, and I hope everyone here is. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's all I have to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderman Convery?
Thanks to the staff and everybody involved with the budget. It's a good budget, and we got it passed a little bit earlier this year too. So, on another note, there was an article in the paper this morning talked about Jimmy Doolittle's raid on Japan. It's the 75th anniversary today. And there's one survivor left, 101 years old. Congratulations to him, too. He was Doolittle's co-pilot. And although it did not do a lot of physical damage to Japan, it did a lot of psychological damage, because all of a sudden we were able to strike them from the middle of the ocean. So congratulations to all of them, and it's something that we have to continue to remember. But 101 years old, God bless him.
Ward 3, Alderwoman Thuringer.
Nothing for me this evening, thank you.
Alderwoman Oberlin.
Nothing this evening.
Ward 2, Alderwoman Sclair.
Just want to say happy spring to everyone. The nice weather is finally here.
Ward 1, Alderman Verche.
Nothing at this time?
Okay. Public comment. Anybody would like to address City Council, please step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that no one stepping to the podium. To our city administrator, Heather, is there a need for an executive session?
No, there's not, Mayor.
Motion for an adjournment would be in order.
Second, no, second, no, but I'll make that motion.
Waiting for Scott.
I'm so used to seconding it.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Verche, seconded by Alderwoman Sclair for an adjournment. Roll call, please, Vicki.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Charlie Convery. Candy Thuringer.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Barbara Scolaire.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 8:01 PM. Thank you and good evening.
Sat next to place too long.
I guess so. Autopilot there.